All right. So, have you ever been in a relationship where everything it looked good, it made sense, checked all the boxes, but it didn't feel good? I would say this is one of the most dangerous patterns to be in. It's subtle, right? It's not super dramatic, but it's dangerous cuz it's so subtle. And everything to everyone else seems like you're in this amazing relationship. Maybe you guys share similar values. Maybe you have a shared vision, right? All these things are in alignment. Yet it's it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel that way. There's something that doesn't feel fulfilled. So, I've been talking about different ways, different archetypes might show up in love, in dating, in relationships. And if you don't know which is your energetic frequency archetype, you can find out in less than 10 minutes. You can take the free quiz in the description. So, this is the archetype that is really great at just being disciplined and dedicated, and they've invested their time and they feel like they've built something. And so they don't want to give up, right? Because giving up feels like, well, they failed. And their nervous system believes if I let go of control, then everything else is going to fall apart. So I'm going to hold tight to what I've built. Also, their worth is not tied to who they are, it's tied to what they do, right? What they've accomplished, what it looks like. Even though you may not know that consciously. This is the pattern running in your nervous system and in your subconscious. So I want to talk about the 5 different patterns of this archetype so you can identify if this might be you or someone that you're dating. So the first one is you lead with practicality before feeling. So everything is logical. When you meet someone, your brain is already looking for, is this person consistent? Can I rely on this person? Do they follow through? Can I trust them? Right. So your nervous system is already scanning for all of these things. And that comes before any feeling, which is why you could be in a situation for a really long time and then realize you're not feeling it, right? You really don't have that emotional connection because you were just scanning for reliability, consistency, trust, security. Number 2, you are the one that overfunctions and carries the relationship. You're so used to being the one who does all the planning. You're planning all the things. You're organizing all the things. You're saying, "Hey, let's do this." And then you are the one who's following through. And oftentimes, even though it might feel burdensome to you if you're the one always doing it, you never really get to see if the other person will step up because you're the one always doing it. It's almost as if your identity is connected to and attached to this role of this person who maintains the structure, has the container of stability and safety. And maybe growing up, you had experiences where you didn't feel super stable. Maybe you come from a one parent household. Maybe there was a lot of change or move or things that happened that took your security out from under you. So for you, you're always seeking to make sure that things are okay. They will be okay. So you create the structure and you don't quite leave room for anyone else in that relationship to step up, even though you might be frustrated with the fact that you're the one doing it all the time. Number 3, you stay in relationships because they make sense, not because they feel good or they feel right. So that means that you feel like, well, they're a good person. They have good values. They've always been honest with me. I can rely on them. But like, that's all you got. And I'm not minimizing that. Those are amazing qualities. And we want to have those in a partner. We want to be able to trust our partner. We want to feel safe with our partner. But if that's all we have, if there isn't any other emotional connection, if we're not feeling some sense of aliveness, right? Because this archetype, they almost need permission to go after something that has passion and aliveness. So that takes us to the fourth one, which is that you suppress desire in favor of security. Because somewhere along the line, you develop this belief system that it's bad to want more. You're ungrateful if you want more. You're more realistic and appreciative, which we all could be more of, right? Appreciating what we have. But there's this part of you that never thinks that there could be something else and above to that. It's almost like the framework that you operate in is, as long as they meet these specific things that make me feel safe and stable, then we're good. So you tell yourself that, this is enough. It's enough that they're loyal. It's enough that this relationship is stable, even if I feel nothing, even if I feel dead on the inside. They're not going to leave me. So we're good. I know I'm making light of it. I have some personal experience with many, probably all of these archetypes. So I'm not making light of it. I know it's real. Let's talk about the last one. The last pattern is that you confuse feeling stable for actually feeling fulfilled. But the thing is, you can feel safe and have consistency and have stability and fulfillment at the same time. You don't have to sacrifice one for the other. And what happens sometimes with this archetype is they were scanning for the wrong things initially. And even if they realize they don't necessarily feel this connection, they don't want to give up on it because they've already poured in the time and they already feel like this person is a good person and we share things in common. So we're just going to make it work, right? Versus it's okay for me to want passion and joy and fulfillment and chemistry and excitement and aliveness. And also having a partner, I can trust them, I can rely on them, and they're consistent, right? So all of these can go together. So this particular archetype, they think that being in alignment in relationship is just stability and reliability. They think that as long as they're with someone that's a good person, then we're good. But what's actually misaligned for this archetype is that if they're in a relationship that's lacking depth or emotional connection, they're not going to feel fulfilled. If they stay just because it makes logical sense, it looks good on paper, they're not going to feel fulfilled. If they're suppressing their desires so that they can maintain this sense of security, ultimately, they're not going to feel fulfilled, right? So the idea here is this is just a reminder that you can have both. So I would love to hear which one of these archetypes feel or ring more true for you. And we're not just one, right? We all have this archetype map that makes us unique. But there's typically one that maybe shows up for us more in relationship or in work. We'll keep the work thing for another video. But I'd love to hear if you feel like you are in a relationship that you're feeling fulfilled and is matching you on all these different levels. And if you're not, then consider taking the quiz to see how you might be showing up in relationship. And it might give you some clues to how your partner, which archetype they are and how they're showing up in relationship and maybe what's missing. All right, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time.